March 13, 2021. It's 18:55 in the evening right here in the Arctic, Alaska. And I am showing you a 360-degree camera view of my surrounding. Look at that. The sun is about to set in the west. And as you can see right here, that's my footprints coming from there below where I started walking. So it is my habit to always go out in the nature and hike almost every day, especially if the weather is not that bad. Like right now, the wind blowing like around 3 to 5 miles an hour, and the temperature outside is 15 degrees Fahrenheit, and then it's a little bit warm because the sun's still up, and especially it is a Sabbath afternoon right now, so I have to be in the nature and close my Sabbath, enjoying the nature that created by God. So that's how I start my Sabbath and end my Sabbath in the nature, because there's no church here where I live right now. So I was sent here by the Alaska Conference to at least establish a beacon of light here, a beacon of Adventism light here in Dutch Harbor, Alaska. Adventism comes here in Alaska in 1901, and the Alaska Conference become granted this conference like 1980s, probably 1985. But since then, since 1901 until now, there is no Adventist light here in Dutch Harbor, Alaska. So probably they waited for me to be born and to grow up and to be honed in Andrews University and to be sent here. So I am the first Adventist human being that ever lived here in the Arctic Dutch Harbor, meaning I am establishing a company here. So the company will blessedly, by the grace of God, will become a church. But for now, there is no single Adventist here. Only me, I and myself, and the rest is not Adventist. So it's quite challenging. It's quite lonely and very wild here. I mean, not wild, dangerous, but really super country wild. Like everything here froze, especially in winter time. So look at that right there. This is the snow right now that I am stepping in is actually a road going there up. This road actually, so if you can see that right there, it's a road during 1940s in World War II, but since then it was not used by the people anymore. So the road, if not used by vehicles and peoples, then the nature will reclaim it, and that's why it's being reclaimed. But during World War II, it is the road going up there because there are many military bunker here and relics during World War II. Because to those who have no idea about what's going on during World War II here in Alaska, especially here in Dutch Harbor, it was bombed by the Japanese Air Force, and Aleutian has been invaded by the Japanese. Because if you see in the map, Japan, the northeast of Japan is Alaska. So Aleutian is the closest thing that the Japanese people army during World War II can reach. So yep, so the United States military put a lot of military personnel here to guard and protect this island of Alaska. So that's why there are many military relics here in Dutch Harbor. But look at that magnificent scenery right there. See that? Oh, what a fantastic and majestic view to behold. It's really pure, wild and untamed, harsh, frigid Arctic frozen environment here in Alaska, and I am not only fortunate and blessed to be chosen, because I don't know, I don't know why me. I am not an Arctic man. I don't even grow up in a cold place, so I'm not used to cold when I was young. But when I studied in Andrews University, I worked there while studying, so I am a self-supporting working student in Andrews University, and I work at night and even at daytime when I have no class. And even in the winter time, I work outside, and Michigan is one of the places where it is also freezing cold, especially in winter time, because Michigan is surrounded with great big lakes. So when there's a big body of water, it is really freezing cold. Lake Michigan will freeze every winter time. So yeah, so I was trained over there in the cold place, only to find out that why God put me there in Andros. It is because God will set me here in His most extreme, wild, untamed Arctic wilderness of Alaska. And to be honest with you, this place is not for fainted-hearted people. Fainted heart people. This is not for all people that will come here. Is those people that really is determined and also trained to become lonely. And even though there's a saying that says there's no man is an island, meaning each one of us needs companion, but God decided me to be alone, not for the long time, but I love being alone. So that's why probably God called me to be here in this Arctic wild of Alaska, because yeah, like what I said earlier, there is no Adventist here in Dutch Harbor, Alaska since 1901 until now. I am the only one that is living here, literally, that is Adventist. There are many people that are working here before that, and some of them are Adventists, but they go. So Adventism has never been established here, because there is no missionary, there is no pastor or even Bible worker, or in the Philippines we call it layman, to establish a church. So the church here has the churches here in Dutch Harbor is only like a Catholic church. Russian Orthodox is the major church here, and some Methodist and Christian Fellowship and Mormons. But even them, they are having a hard time to have membership, because majority here is Russian Orthodox, because Alaska, before it was owned by United States, is owned by Russia during the early 1800s. So it has a heavy influence of Russian Orthodox here, and all the locals here, locals means the native Aleutians, they are 90 to 99% Russian Orthodox. So that is why it is difficult to plant the seeds of Adventism here, because Russian Orthodox, they are really deep rooted in their system, in their blood and in their mind. They grow up and they was born Russian Orthodox, they will die being a Russian Orthodox. So it's difficult, and that's why it needs a lot of prayer here, and it needs a lot of courage to whoever the one will be sent here, like me. I'm not saying I have a lot of courage, but it is only God that gives me that courage, because me myself, I have no courage at all. It is really difficult, and if you are not fun and used of being alone, you will die of loneliness. Apart from that loneliness, you will die of really cold. There is no internet here. I mean, there is, but imagine the starting of the internet during the 90s. That's how the internet here. You have to climb the highest mountain and first every streams just to look for a better, a good signal, not even a better signal. So Facebook or YouTube or any kind of internet thing, forget that. because you will only ended up frustrated. So yeah, but apart from that, everything here is beautiful and magnificent. You know, if you will not look for those downside, just look at the brighter side and the upside of it. You are actually in the most safest, coolest, and more comfortable place on earth, where no one will going to invade you apart from the Japanese people that invaded her during World War II. COVID-19, no, it don't reach here, you know. So this island of Dutch Harbor has only approximately 3,000 total population, and half of that population is the local aloots, and half of that is those foreigners that comes here to work, because Dutch Harbor has a lot of work, because the major work here in Dutch Harbor is fishing. King crab, salmon, halibut, cod, pollock, and all those seafood products is coming from here. So that's the major economy producing here. And some giant ships coming from China is delivering and loading with a lot of king crabs, a lot of seafood products coming from here, and it will be distributed in the lower 48 states and also in Hong Kong, in the major part of China, in Taiwan, Thailand, and even in Singapore, and in the rest of the world, and even in Japan. So those king crabs that you eat, there's 80 to 90% that those things are coming from here. Those salmons that you eat, those are coming from here. So yep, that is the major thing that is coming from here in the Dutch Harbor, Alaska. So right now it's January, it's March already. It's the end of the season of the king crab season. It's starting already to another shifting of seasons like shrimps, most probably. And yeah, that is the thing. And most of those workers here are not the locals. Those workers here, those working in the boat, fishing boat, and also in the canning, and the fish processing plant, are mix of all foreign nationals, like Latins, coming from Mexico, or even in Honduras, or even in Costa Rica, or even in South America, and even in Europe. There are also a lot of Russians here, and also Ukrainians. They come here for work also. And also Asians like Vietnamese, Koreans, but there's a lot of Filipino here. So that's why I'm here to at least establish friendship with my kababayans. And starting from that, then we can start a group of people. So at the moment, I am doing a Bible study with 4 Filipinos, and so far they are not that recipient, but at least they are willing to give time with me in doing Bible study. So yeah, that is the thing that I can see right here in the Arctic wild of Alaska. Forgive me of wearing this eyeglass, because it is not really good to have your naked eyes when you are outside in the white snow, because extreme exposure of bright to your eyes will lead you a temporary blindness. But apart from that, everything's cool. So those who wants to see my face without these shades, I will open it for a while. So that's me. And the sun is about to set. That means that the Sabbath is about to end also, and I have to talk to my God, because most of the time, Friday evening and Sabbath evening, I have to go out in the nature and start my Sabbath and end my Sabbath also with God. So it's beautiful to communicate with God in this beautiful and lovely nature here. So I will show you that again. Look at that. Alright, so this is your friend Effer Caroro from here in the Arctic wild of Alaska, saying keep thinking, keep growing, and keep the faith you have in Jesus even though it's freezing. And be strong, and wait on the Lord until He will tell you something what to do. So happy Sabbath to everyone. See you around. If you have time to visit here in Des Harbor, just let me know. My email is gonscars@yahoo.com or arcticmissionadventure@yahoo.com. My number is 907-359-6070. If you want to communicate with me and come here and visit here in this beautiful and magnificent paradise, hidden paradise of Alaska, just communicate with me and see you around. Bye bye.